Hey, what's happening, family? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Messages in the Madness with yours truly, Vernon Longhorn Davis. Hey, daughter, good to see you. Now, what's going on? I need y'all to give me a thumbs up or type it in the comments if you can hear me. Okay, my microphone says I'm popping, but last week we had some video. Now I done tried to do. I done did every test I could before I started the show tonight. So give me something in the comments. Let me know if you hear me, please. I would greatly appreciate that. And I'm checking a couple of other things to see if I'm being heard. Let's see. There we go. I am live and popping. Yes, I am. Brother Jerry, good to see you. Hey, Miss Marion, good to see you as well. Okay, thank you, daughter. Hey, Miss Nanette, how you doing? Yeah, welcome to another episode of Messages in the Madness with yours truly, Vernon Longhorn Davis. It is Sunday, and I am so happy to be here and see y'all. Let me put my chat up so I can see that. And I started off my show showing off Mr. Mackay. He graduated this weekend. So big shout out to Mackay and Miss Kayla. She graduating next weekend. So, yep, I'll have video of her walking across the stage also. So very proud. Pawpaw, Nene, parents, grandparents, everybody just proud, super proud right now. And let me get my message up here on the screen. I'm glad you decided. I really am glad every week that you guys decide to, hey, Miss Coley, good to see you. Decide to sit down and spend some time with me. Uh, Appreciate it very much. So go ahead and get comfortable because we got a whole lot on our minds and a lot of important things to talk about this evening. At least I got a lot on my mind that I want to talk to y'all about. Right now, we're in the thick of the month of May, and needless to say, life has been absolutely crazy and moving at lightning speed for all of us. It feels like you blink the eye on Monday and bam, suddenly it's Sunday night and we're here. And another week just flown right by us. We are still in the middle of prom season and high school, college graduations, not just around my house, but around other people's houses as well. And we've been incredibly busy celebrating graduates. Yes, brother, good August, good to see you. Hey, Roger, good to see you. It's a beautiful, exciting, and deeply emotional season of life. It is. It's a time full of hope watching these young people transition into adulthood. And I want to stop right here and say a big congratulations to the graduates in your life. I don't care if they graduating from CNA school, clap it up for them, give them some love and encouragement. But yeah, so happy congratulations to the graduates in your life as well as ours. Godspeed to them on their achievements and Godspeed on their brand new life ahead of them. It's important. And they're stepping out into a massive, complicated, and often unforgiving world. Oh, man. It's a very unforgiving world out there. Most of us already know that. And they need every single ounce of support, love, guidance, and prayers that we can possibly give them as they take these next steps. Hey, Dustin, good to see you, buddy. But at the same time, while we are running around buying gifts and attending graduation parties, we have to remember the flip side of the coin. May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. And if there is one thing I want to drop heavy into your spirit tonight, it's this simple, powerful phrase. Be kind. Yes, be kind. Just be kind to one another. You never know what people are truly going through behind closed doors. You don't know the weight they're carrying on their shoulders when they're out in public. The world can look incredibly shiny on the outside while someone is fighting a brutal, exhausting, and quiet battle on the inside. And that's fact. People are so good at putting on brave face, smiling through the pain, cracking jokes, and acting like everything is perfectly fine when their personal world is actually crumbling into pieces right beneath their feet. So just be kind. A good word, a warm smile, a genuine check-in costs you absolutely nothing, but it might mean everything to the person receiving it at maybe the lowest moment in their life. So just be kind. Hey, Miss Annette, good to see you as well. You should say good evening prayers. I know that's right. I say all that because every week I come into this space, get in front of this microphone, and talk to you about finding perspective in life. We look at a world that has gone completely batshit crazy. Oh yeah, I said it, but that's just the facts. We look at the news headlines. We look at the daily financial stresses. We look at how fast everything is moving around us, and we try to find just one piece of solid ground to stand on, so we do not lose our minds in this chaos, in this madness, if you will. And this past week, the madness hit right at my front door. It was not something I read. It wasn't something I read online or in the newspaper. It was in the news story. I saw flash on the TV screen. It was personal. It was deeply personal, and it completely knocked the wind right out of my sails. I was working with a colleague of mine. This is someone I talk to and work with regularly. We work together once a month. As a matter of fact, out in California, that's where I was at this week, was in California. I ended up spending the night in Salt Lake City, but that's a whole nother conversation. It started out as just a standard regular check-in. Hey, or at least I thought that's what it was going to be. But yeah. But during our initial conversation of the day, they dropped some news on me that completely stopped me in my tracks. It stopped me in my tracks. It took my breath away. I had to get up and walk away from the table for a minute. I learned that an old mentor of mine had passed away the week before. At least they had his services the week before. Now, just being completely honest with you, and that's how I am. That's what I do with you. This gentleman and I were not guys who hung out on the weekends. We didn't go to barbecues together and drink beer. We did not know every intimate detail of each other's personal life, and we didn't know each other's family trees or childhood stories. But when we were in each other's orbits at work, we would stop. No matter how busy the day was, no matter how many things were piling up on our plates, we would stand there and we would talk for at least 10 to 15 minutes. This man was his name was Frederic. I'm not going to give you the rest of it because I don't have permission from his family. But he was probably one of the most powerful men I ever met in corporate America. But he would take that 10 to 15 minutes to talk to me. Wherever we saw each other, we would stand there and we would talk 10, 15 minutes. And let me tell you something about those short 15-minute windows. In those brief moments, I saw a man of absolute, undeniable integrity. I saw a true professional. I saw someone I deeply respected and genuinely admired from the bottom of my heart. I did. He did not have to put on a show for anybody. He didn't have to talk loud, puff up his chest, or boast about his accomplishments, which were many, just to get attention. He just naturally set a standard for how you carry yourself, how you handle your business with honor, and how you treat other human beings with basic dignity. And I'll be honest, I took as much as I could from him, whether he knew it or not. I took as much as I could from him. I learned from him. I soaked it all in, and yeah, it showed. And I'm proud of it. So hearing that he was gone, it hit me hard. It hit me personally, and it forced me to stop everything I was doing and just get up and walk away from the table, like I said, and look at how we navigate this short life we are given. It made me realize that whether we are celebrating a young graduate who is just starting out their own journey, or mourning a veteran who just finished his race and crossed the finish line, we have to look out for each other. Today, this show is dedicated to the unexpected mentors and the seasoned veterans and the unsung heroes who throw us a lifeline when we need it the most. So, hey, Jill, good to see you. Hey, Annette, good to see you. That's who tonight's show is dedicated to, our unexpected mentors, because he didn't know he was my mentor. He didn't. The seasoned veterans and the unsung heroes who, like I say, who stood in the gaps for us. So, learning about his passing brought me right back to a very specific moment that we shared years ago. And that particular time in my career, I was frustrated. Oh, I was very frustrated. I was looking at the landscape of the company we were with, and I was tired of the politics, and I was ready to walk right out the door. I was packing my bags mentally, updating my resume, and I was actively looking for the closest exit sign. I was looking for a new job. I thought I was completely done with the place and ready to wash my hands of the whole situation. But right around that time, this mentor of mine came to me and told me that he was getting ready to retire. We stood there, looked at each other, uh, straight in the eye, and we made a pact. We made a good old fashioned handshake deal. I looked at him and said, I tell you what, as long as you're here with this company, I will stay with the company that I'm with because we were working in conjunction. So I told him I would stick around until he retired. We agreed to it. I mean, he said something to me that really meant a lot and carried a lot of weight. He says, Vernon, we need good men like you in this company. So that meant something to me. We had a deep mutual respect that did not, it didn't need a 30-page contract, written up by a team of high-priced corporate lawyers. We just made the agreement. We didn't need human resources involved. We didn't need signatures or witnesses. It was just two men giving the word to another and meaning it. Well, the day eventually came, and he took his well-deserved retirement. He walked out the door to go enjoy the fruits of his many years of hard labor and hard work. And because a man's word actually has to mean something when your boots hit the ground, I held up my end of the bargain. I didn't leave the company when he left. In fact, I remained with that company for 4 years after he retired. It was three and a half, almost four. But think about that. 4 years. Why did I do that? Because I honored the pact we made. Because the respect I had for that man did not end just because his nameplate was taken off the door and his office was cleared out. I stayed because my word is my bond. And if a handshake doesn't mean anything anymore, then we have lost the very foundation of character. That is what a real mentor does for you. They do not teach you how to hit a specific metric, how to log information into a computer, or how to perform a mechanical task. They pass down a permanent blueprint for character. They steady your compass when you are confused, angry, and ready. You pretty much what y'all say these days, crashing out. They give you a standard to look up to when the leadership around you is failing. And it made me realize something that I think we desperately need to talk about on this show tonight. The world does not keep spinning because of the folks yelling at each other on the TV, on the news. It does not keep moving because of some fancy political speech or a high price promise from people who don't care about your day, my day, our struggles, none of that. This world keeps spinning because of the quiet giants. I'm looking at you. You are a quiet giant. It keeps moving because of the ordinary people who anchor us when the heavy storms hit. It's the people who show up every day, do their job with pride, treat people right, and hold the line when everything else is shaking. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Jerry. Jerry says people do not honor their word anymore. It's all about them. Well, Jerry, there's a lot of people who do. There are some people who do still honor their word, my friend. I know I know exactly who is watching and listening to this show every single week. I don't do this show for the corporate boardroom elites, the politicians, or the people sitting in high rise offices. I don't. That's making decisions about lives they do not understand. I don't do this show for that. I do this. Well, I take that back. I do. I do this show for the average people of the world, me and you. I do this for the everyday folk who are out here grinding, sweating, and making things happen. That's who I do this for. I'm talking directly to the guy driving the truck across the state lines right now, listening to my voice through his cab speakers while um, the miles roll by on the highway. I'm talking to people who just changed jobs and going through a new experience and finding peace and happiness in their life. I'm talking to the woman working double shifts, standing on her feet until they ache, trying to figure out how in the world to balance the household budget when grocery prices and energy bills are through the roof. I'm talking to the folks who wake up early while it's still dark outside and look at, the chaotic, loud, stressful world and say, I've still got a family to feed. I still got a job to do, and I'm going to go handle it regardless of how I feel. Regardless of how I feel, I got to handle my business. That's who I do this for. Um, you're right. Jerry said the pool is not as deep as it used to be. That's very true. James says, I miss the days when your word and a handshake meant everything, meant something. I do too. So when you look at our world right now, it's completely obsessed with celebrity. Many people want to be famous for doing absolutely nothing, not a zilch shit. Many people want to be famous for doing that, just doing nothing. They want to shout, "Look at me!" into a smartphone camera. Well, I'm using a real camera, and chasing temporary thumbs up, a comment, or view count just to feel important for a fleeting second. They want the glory without the grit. They want the paycheck without the calluses. Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice to get a paycheck without having to work for it? I think the only time that really happens is when you win the lottery, right? But what about the people who are actually holding the line? What about the people who keep our families from falling apart? You never see them trending on social media. They don't have trophies on their shelves, and they don't have a million followers online. They are invisible to the world, to the culture. But they are the bedrock of our civilization. Think about it. Think back in your own life to people who gave you your very first real break. Can you remember that? Maybe you were young, incredibly green, and a little bit rough around the edges. Maybe your background wasn't perfect, or maybe you were just flat out down on your luck, broke, running out of options. We have all had that one person in our life. Maybe it was an old manager that stepped up. That person that stepped up for you. Maybe it was an old manager, a veteran mechanic at the garage, or an old sergeant in the army that took some pity on a young soldier. They saw something in you. A supervisor who looked at you and saw you struggle and said, "All right, I'm going to give you a shot. Just don't make me look stupid." Yeah, those people. That teacher, or maybe it was a teacher in school who refused to give up on you when everybody else did. A teacher who looked past your bad attitude, looked past your bad grades, your poor grades, saw your hidden potential and pushed you hard towards a better future. Someone who wouldn't let you settle for being average. And I had teachers like that. I didn't have a bad attitude. Just had a rough life. Annette says the nurses and soldiers, God bless them all. I miss honor. Well, I agree with you. But I had those teachers that I would say stood in the gap and pushed me. So they did not do those things for a corporate tax write-off. They didn't do it for a round of applause or social media posts. They did it simply because they saw something valuable inside of you that you could not even see in yourself yet. They were tough on you. They demanded your absolute best, and they would not let you cut corners or make excuses. Why? Because they cared enough to build you up into a person of substance. If we just being completely honest with ourselves, this evening, some of us would not even be eating today if it weren't for that one person who took a major chance on us. And when we had absolutely nothing to offer, we didn't have nothing to offer them, but they were willing to show up and work with us and help us and push us and guide us and love us. Ned says, my first sergeant believed in me. There you go. Coley says, could you please send Vernon 500 stars? I will cash app you right away. And don't forget to like, love, and share the message. Thank you, Coley. Uh, so I want to take a moment right now to speak directly to a very special, deeply important part of the audience tonight. I know for a fact that we have a lot of retirees who watch and listen to Messages in the Madness every week. And I thank y'all and I love y'all. I want you to hear me clearly when I say this. You are not just spectators in this life. Excuse me. You're not just sitting on the porch watching the world go by, outdated or forgotten. You're not. You are the standard setters. You are the history keepers of our communities and families. You spent 30, 40, 50 years punching the clock, sweating, building things with your hands, and surviving the madness of your own eras. You survived the ups and downs of life. And now you are the quiet giants who are holding our worlds together. Yeah, you are. The amount of respect I have for the retirees tuning into this show is immense, is huge. I respect you because you were that unexpected mentor for somebody else. Years ago, you took somebody under your wing. You were the older hand at the shop who shook your head at a frustrated kid, took a young teacher under your arms when she didn't think she could make it or he could make it. You took the tools out of somebody's hands that weren't sure of what they were doing, and you told them to slow down, take a breath, and learn how to do it right. You didn't just teach him or her how to fix a machine. You taught them how to take pride, how to have pride in their craft. You passed down blueprints. You passed down a blueprint for work ethic and personal responsibility that you simply cannot buy in a store or learn from a website. And the beautiful thing is, you are still doing it today. The real heavy lifting in our families, in our neighborhoods, in our communities is not being done by politicians passing laws or city council holding meetings. It is being done by the retiree who spends their free time checking in on older people, frail folks on the block to make sure their grass is cut and they have food in the pantry. It is being done by the guy who shows up with his own toolbox to fix a window. I'm sorry, a widow's porch on a Saturday morning and absolutely refusing to take a single dime of her money. It is being done by the grandmother who takes in the neighborhood kids after school, cooks them a meal, a real meal, and helps them with their homework so their parents can work that extra shift just to survive the inflation. Yeah, that is true character. That is deep wisdom. That is a lifetime of looking out for people without expecting a reward. And let me tell you, in this modern world, character is the rarest, most valuable currency on the market. We need your wisdom now more than we have ever needed it before. So do not ever think your voice does not matter. Here a couple of years ago, Mr. Net was asked to come and say some words at a school that she once taught at. Well, in the school district she once taught at. And long story short, she got ambushed. What happened was, it was a former student of hers, um, who had became an educator and moved up the ranks and so on and so forth. And the things that Miss Danette had instilled in her meant something to her, and it helped guide her through her career. And she got ambushed because Miss Nanette ended up getting an award that she was not anticipating. Now, I'm not bringing that up to brag on Miss Nanette. I'm bringing it up because you just never know the effects that you have on people when you mentor them, when you take the time to talk and share and love on them. And I'm very proud of that award, as I'm proud of it as if I won it myself. So, um, losing my mentor this past week reminded me of a harsh, undeniable truth that we all tend to forget when we get caught up in our own daily grind, our busy schedule, our personal issues and challenges. Those quiet giants are not going to be here forever. Time keeps moving forward. The clock keeps ticking. And the mileage eventually catches up to all of us. No one lives forever. And tomorrow is not promised to a single soul. So here is the message and the madness today. I was checking my time, sorry. Coming straight from a heavy heart. None of us got here by ourselves. Nobody out there is a truly self made man or woman. No, you're not. If you managed to survive the chaos of this life so far, if you are standing on solid ground right now, it is because someone with a little more mileage than you took the time to help you navigate the road. Yeah, it is because someone else stood by. They stood by you, picked you up when you failed, and helped you pour the concrete foundation you are standing on today. Whether it was your mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, grandmother, grandfather, friend of the family, or just a complete stranger that you met at work one day and y'all built a lifelong relationship 10, 15 minutes at a time. My challenge to every single person listening to the sound of my voice this evening is simple. Whether you are sitting in the cab of a truck or resting at a kitchen table or sitting on the front porch or sitting outside drinking a beer and watching the sun go down, my request is very simple. Do not let your heroes go unnoticed. Don't let them go unnoticed. Do not wait until it's too late. Do not wait until you have the exact same conversation that I had to have this week. Call that old supervisor who's now enjoying their retirement. Stop by the house of that neighbor who always keeps an eye on the street and your house, your property. Send a text message to the person who gave you your very first shot when you were down on your luck and struggling. Hmm. Reach out to that teacher who saw your potential. Just reach out and tell them, hey, I just wanted to say that I have not forgotten what you have taught me, what you taught me back then. I have not forgotten it. And it still means something to me to this day. I haven't forgotten what you did for me. And it still matters to me today. It still matters. Let's start giving people their flowers while they are still here to smell them. Let's start showing appreciation while people are alive to receive it, rather than weeping over a casket wishing we had said it sooner. To my mentor who passed away, rest easy, brother. Rest easy, my friend. Thank you for showing me exactly what a man of integrity looks like. Your investment in me mattered. And the pact we made was kept to the very end. But I think you know that. And to all the hard workers, the everyday folks, the seasoned veterans tuning in tonight, thank you. And I'm not just talking about military veterans, I'm just talking about veterans in life. Thank you for holding the line for the rest of us. See, we see you. We do. We see you. We appreciate you. And we are still listening to your wisdom, even to this day. I want you to hear from me. I'm sorry. I think we should let them hear from us today. Send them a text, give them a call, hit them up on their MySpace page or AOL chat. So drop a comment down below this video. Tell me about the unexpected mentor or the unsung hero who held the line for you when your world got crazy. I know we was the end of the broadcast, but you can still add it later on. But tell me about it. Let's use this space to remind everybody that they are still real. Remind people that they are still good. There are still good people in this world. There are a lot of good people left in this world who go unsung every day. They are heroes and don't even know they are heroes. We think of heroes as people with capes or people that, come back from battle. But man, there are some people healing wounds that are deeper than any bullet could ever be. And yeah, that goes beyond the scalpel. So keep your head up. Look out for each other. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Coley. I'm not a hero. I'm your brother. But thank you for calling me that. I'm truly honored and blessed that you would think of me as a hero. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I was Jerry called me a hero, not you, Coley. Coley said my aunt and my teacher both took me in when I didn't have anywhere to go in high school. Okay. I didn't go to my high school graduation because I was homeless at the time. So I finished high school. I was sleeping in a trailer there was no lights, no gas. My mom had moved away. Well, anyway, I was sleeping in a trailer with no lights and no gas. And I had joined the army, and I did not go to my high school prom or my graduation because um I needed somewhere to go. I had already signed up for the army because I knew I was going to graduate early. But as they say, everything falls in line. And so I did not get to go. I was in boot camp, but I was warm. I had 3 hots in the cot because I was in Kansas and I was homeless. So, but there were people who did look out for me until I did make it to the MEP station. But that's another show. She said, my daughter's 75, disabled Iraqi freedom. My son-in-law is my hero. Okay, great. Thank you for his service. Um, Thank you, Brother August. I appreciate that too. So, all right, guys. Thank you, Miss Mary. She said, you are a knight in shining armor. Well, thank you. Yeah, I got my flaws. I do. I trust me. I have my flaws and I own them. I do work to get better though. But thank you for that. And you guys are my knights in shining armor also. Keep helping, keep loving, keep taking care of people. Keep doing what it is that you do. It means a lot to more people than you think. Okay. I was trying to stay under 30. Y'all got me at 36. I'm going to get out of here. So, as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the message. Please like, love, and share. Um, Thank you very much, Annette, for that. But please like, love, and share the message if you enjoyed the message. As always, this has been another episode of Messages in the Madness. I am your host, Vernon Longhorn Davis. Um, Keep God first. Whatever your higher power is, keep it in front of you. Love yourself, respect yourself, take care of yourself. Give them kids a hug for me. Respect our vets. Congrats to all the graduates. Until next Sunday, God bless y'all. Y'all have a great and wonderful week. $2.